When I built my home gym, I thought it was gonna be perfect. But the truth is, it kinda sucks. My wife and I moved to Michigan just after COVID. As a matter of fact, we bought our house during peak COVID, and my wife had to do a fellowship for her medical school stuff in Las Vegas. And so we had to basically take a year of living in Vegas while the house was being kind of finished and finalized here in Michigan. And during that time, we built the gym. And because it was COVID times, we were working under a lot of constraints. One of the big constraints was availability of equipment. Like some stuff just didn't even have lead times because the people making it were like, dude, we don't know when the hell we're gonna get shipments from XYZ. So the total amount of equipment I could have put in there, some of the best pieces that I wanted simply weren't around. And because I needed to be here and needed to start training at some point, we opted for some shorter lead time equipment. And that means the equipment was good, but maybe not great. The other thing was that because of this big limitation during COVID, I ended up buying equipment that was available and that was decent, but that wasn't remotely ideal. And because during COVID, you really couldn't travel around and couldn't try stuff out, a lot of the stuff I had to buy sight unseen. Ideally, you want to test out every single piece of equipment before it arrives, because if it looks pretty in a picture, it probably does a good thing, but that's not guaranteed. So all that stuff taken together, the fact that we planned and executed on this gym during COVID left me with a few bumps and bruises and machines I look at like you look at redheaded children. Why are you in my family? Is it true that I have to pay for you until you're 18? Couldn't we have the ethics of the medieval times where I could simply drop you off in the market and never see you again? That's how I was looking at some of the machines. Am I proud of that? No. But have the machines now been sent to the equivalent of orphanages for machines where they get abused and underfed? Yes, proudly. All right, folks, the first thing I had to have in a gym that was trying to get a little better is an element fridge, you feel me? Because your boy gets thirsty and salt doesn't just replace itself. We got this little element fridge here, a little element situation. Element's awesome. They're an amazing sponsor. And so I'm saying we're just trying to shout them out. And I'll be here by myself every now and again. And look, don't tell anybody, but I've been known to pour element all over this fine ass body. Hold up. I disgusted myself. Let's move on to actual machines that make a difference. All right, so the first replacement I made was I took the Atlantis linear leg press hack squat combo, and I replaced it with a Roger squat. Why? Is my beautiful relationship with Atlantis over? Not even close. Atlantis is still rank 1 for the best exercise machines in the world. However, this is a me problem. So Atlantis sat me down and they were like, Mike, you know that we love you. And I was like, Atlantis, of course. And I kind of went in for the kiss and they're like, you're too short. And I started to cry. But when I stopped crying an hour and a half later, I realized they were correct. And the problem with me on the linear leg press was that I've got the baby legs and my femurs and the tibias, so they small. And so I'm only 4'10" and a half. And so my legs are so short that I ended up not being able to generate tension at the bottom of the machine. And taller people can get a ton out of that machine. I couldn't. And my wife is even shorter than me. So we were like, this is just the wrong matchup. It's a fucking awesome machine. I highly recommend it. But us short kings and queens, we just couldn't deal with it. However, the Roger squat, adjustable to every single conceivable human height, and has this beautiful thing where if you put the plates on the top side, like I have illustrated here, you end up having a force curve that's the most difficult at the bottom and the easiest at the top. The Roger squat accommodates every single stance. It is completely safe to do because it has its own rack system. Super comfortable. I don't have to hold the bar behind my back. The Roger squat, like if you don't have one at your gym, you need to do two things. One, order a Roger squat. And unless it arrives and is assembled and people are using it, you need to walk with your head down in shame. That's right, the deep kind of shame that follows you later, the kind of shit that gives you nightmares later. I'm serious. Roger Athletic, you're welcome for that very kind and politically correct recommendation. All right, folks, so I was doing some behind the neck easy bar extensions, which I really liked. I haven't done them in a dog's age, as some would say. And so who says that? Last seen in the Waterboy movie. And so I was like, you know what? I got a combination. I got a problem here. One is I want a shoulder press seat because I was doing it on my incline attachment, but that shit has wheels on it. And so I would stand on the incline so that I could get over the incline. And then when I was reaching behind, I ended up pushing back on the incline. It would fucking slide. We need to put a mat down, put a 100-pound weight on the mat. The thing wouldn't slide, then it would just tip. It was super fucking annoying. So I was like, that. I got me an actual shoulder press machine. But before I did that, I considered the other variable. So number one, I need a shoulder press machine, or sorry, a shoulder press seat. And the other problem is I'm Jewish, and painfully, deeply so. And spending money is like cutting my own fingernails off, like right off the bone or whatever. It's terrible. And so I was like, what can I get for like $45 that doesn't instantly break? The thing weighs 5 pounds. And my friend, Mr. Tuman, who helped me set it up, was like, hey, is this broken? And I was like, no, it looks fine. So he does this, and the whole pipe bends of him just leaning on it. And I'm like, yeah, it'll be fine. Here's the thing. As long as I don't die in this, it's awesome. It's got these awesome foot support situations. So when I put the foot support on and I lean back onto this in overhead extension mode, there's no mechanical way, other than the machine collapsing, of course, and killing me summarily or wounding me, that this can be pushed back or get destabilized. So I'm super excited to use it. I can use it for curls. I can use it for laterals. It's super cheap. It was super easy to make. And if you have a garage gym, honestly, you guys, and you have incline benches and everything, you're looking to buy one more thing just to kind of fill it out, this thing is easy, and legitimately it's like $50. So I think it's nice. And if you guys see an update video about me where there's doctors are pulling metal out of my ass, you know what happened. Folks, there was a brave exercise equipment company that made an arguably unethical experiment on biological animals. They took a shark and they had it breed the old-fashioned way with a pit bull. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're asking incredibly important questions like, excuse me, Mike, yes, you? Did they put a female pit bull in heat to swim because they're adorable and they do the little doggy paddle in a tank in which a properly fed but very horny male shark was swimming, and then Lion King type of stuff? Or was it a female shark just totally ready to just get jizzed up into by a stacked cock diesel male pit bull? Hold up, fellas, hold up, baby. Oh, it was the exact sound he made before he just skied up into that dumbass bitch shark. What's up, baby? Now, at this point, you might be thinking, "What, Mike? Sharks aren't even mammals. The whole thing's insane." And from what I know about like zygotic trajectories, is this would be the fetus that would die like 4 steps into cell division. They would never be able to make an extant living animal. And I say to you, explain that. Case closed. Let's move on to the next machine. No, hold on. The pit shark is a belt squat. And honestly, it's a belt machine because you can do rows on it. Max, get yours. Stop laughing. You're giggling like a fucking little girl. You can do stiff-legged deadlift on here. You can do rows on here. And the belt squat situation is out of control. Why? Because this machine is incredibly smooth. It's incredibly adjustable. And look, the Matt Wenning belt squat was fucking awesome. I love that machine. But it's intentionally leveraged higher so that it's easier at the bottom and harder at the top, exactly like equipped lifting and athletic lifting should be leveraged. And that's where Matt Wenning comes from with his training philosophies, which is amazing. However, for hypertrophy specific purposes, that's a great machine. This one is probably going to nudge it out just a little bit, for me personally, anyway. And that's because with some modification, because again, I'm 3'8", I need a little bit of a higher positioning. And when I have that, I get maximum tension at the bottom of the lift, minimum tension at the top of the lift. I'm able to do 2/3 myo reps on the shit. The leg workouts on here are just a total category level difference. They're psychotic, they're amazing. I love this machine. I used it way back in the day at some gym, and I remember making a mental note like, I'm gonna have me one of them shits. And you know what? Hey girls, hey ladies, if I see your boyfriend and I like his ass, I make a mental note too, and you ain't never getting him back. Next thing I did was I got rid of my old chest press machine. This is one of these machines I got sight unseen. That chest press machine suffered from, I would say 3 problems. One, it didn't have a leg powered unloader, which means that in order to get into the machine, you had to use your chest. Problem number 2, the stretch on the chest was fine, but you had to wiggle into it somehow and really adjust your body to even pop into the machine. It was just annoying. And problem number 3, the friction of that machine on the concentric phase on the ascent was massive. And then it was also massive on the eccentric, which means the concentric was pretty hard and the eccentric was kind of easy. I remember taking that machine down for a deep stretch for 3 seconds down there, getting off after a few, I did get off. And then I stopped the set. And then I got out of the machine and I was like, it didn't really even like, yeah, I feel the stretch, but it's kind of like just stretching with just using my hand. It wasn't super, super loaded on there. And I was like, enough. And I went to the internet. Guys, the internet's this crazy place. I don't know if you heard about it. There's websites on it. You can purchase things on the internet, then they arrive in real life. I know, it's wild. And I thought, what kind of machine trains chest the best? What kind of machine tears your triceps into whatever rhymes with triceps? But hold on. You thought but hold up. What kind of machine makes them, the boys, moist? Do boys get moist when they get aroused?
Yes.
Why wouldn't they? And I realized the hoist makes them moist. The hoist chest press machine has unloader for the feet, so you can plug into the machine using your legs and really get the right grip. It has a multiple selectorized grip option, and it is such a cataclysmic deep stretch to your chest, and it's tons of force down there. It's insanely ergonomic, and I didn't mention one thing. It's smooth as silk. None of this friction nonsense. The hoist makes them moist for a reason. They're not just delusional. These boys really know what they like in a machine. Smooth, deep stretch. What part of that isn't making you moist at home right now? That's right, you with your headphones in at work, pretending people don't see the erogenous look on your face as you're watching this video. The hoist chest press machine is fucking goated. I love it. It's one of my favorite purchases. I can't believe I've been away from it for so long. Hoist, I'm here. Shh, I'm here. Everything's safe. This is weird. How many of you have had a recurring fantasy where a tank top wearing hairy Russian man is sitting across from you in the sauna and he's like, hey, your shape of cock look nice, yes? See, now you're living your fantasy. And on my website that can't be mentioned that I also have, you can see those videos. We made a lot of content that day. I still hurt in a way that medicine can't help. However, we do have a sauna. This is our new shit. It's made of the finest Nordic woods, I think. And since I assume this was just assembled in Finland because I'm that stupid, well, it's a Finnish sauna. And here's the thing. It doesn't do steam. It doesn't do the dry heat. It does the radiative heat from infrared rays. You know, it's so funny how many white people that are concerned about the microwave poisoning them regularly get in and get blasted by IR rays, but whatever. Being scientifically literate, I know that those are non-ionizing radiation rays, and they're totally healthy and fine for you. They really just like heat you up. It's really cool. This sauna does take a little while to heat up. So halfway through my workout, I'll turn it on to a full blast, 150 degrees or whatever. And then by the time I get into it, it feels quite nice. I use the sauna for 3 things. One is when I finish my workout, I'll like upload all my videos and check off my boxes in the RP Hypertrophy app, and I'll drink my shake, and I'll do that in the sauna. And it's actually been shown that like a high amount of heat to peripheral musculature may help with recovery and absolutely does not blunt adaptation. So that's actually kind of neat. The other reason I use it is because the sauna has actually been shown to be a pretty robust longevity enhancer. So it can actually help you live longer and be healthier, but that's independent of exercise and on top of exercise. So like 5 times sauning for roughly 30 minutes per week, if you work up to that, can be like a really awesome health enhancer. And since I'm saying your boy's done some steroids back in the day, I'm not trying to die any sooner than I have to, so I'm getting in the sauna every now and again. It's also pretty good empirically for recovery in a kind that is not like cold plunging. It does not interfere with hypertrophy. And the third reason I have the sauna is absolute. What the fuck is going on out there? Like, is somebody trying to break in? The third reason I have the sauna is absolutely the most important. And that is after some kind of leg workout, especially when I'm super lean or whatever kind of workout, as I get shreddy Kruger, when I get in the sauna for a few minutes afterwards with a pump, I come out and get gnarly fucking pics and veins everywhere. Let me tell you how this works. I get the vein pics and I put them up on social media. And people are like, oh my God, Michael, you're so muscular and veiny. It must not be because of your combination of genetics, 25 years of pretty hard training and, constant drug use. It must be because of the digital products you sell on the internet that are also going to make me exactly as muscular and veiny as you. And then I go on the website and I pay you money and I look down to see when I can get these sauna veins. The grand delusion, baby. A few people have accused me of grifting on the internet, and I can't tell you I disagree, but you can use more harsh words than that. Total ripoff, scam artist, piece of shit, all qualify. And the sauna helps make the illusion of the fact that I actually am muscular at all. Get yourself a picture 5 minutes into the sauna, it'll change your fucking life. Just because I'm changing a lot of stuff in my gym doesn't mean I'm changing everything. A ton of the machines here I really love. The Arsenal leg press is phenomenal. I can't get enough of that machine. Best leg press ever made. The Free Motion dual cable cross machine I use all the time. It's one of the most useful machines in the gym. We have the Atlantis 45-degree row setup, chest supported. It's awesome. The leg curl, the leg extension from Prime is amazing. The Smith machine is quite good. I have a dip stand that I really like. Essentially all the machines I didn't rag on, including the Power Rack from Arsenal, are absolutely awesome. So really the machine was like, the gym was 80% of the way to being awesome. We traded off like 15 of the bad percent and got 15 good percent. And now the rest is really just 5% enhancing. And honestly, this is one of, for me, the best gyms I've ever trained at this point. But I think we can make it a little better still. The last big change that we've made to the gym so far is all the way back there behind me. You'll see that we've installed a few new panels of heating. The gym already had a triple install forced air, so 3 forced air units, which did air conditioning and do air conditioning, and they also do heating. And the air conditioning is totally fine because I like to train in a little bit of a warmer gym, 70, 75 degrees, something like that, especially when I'm leaner, not dying of heat stroke. So during the summer, especially because I tend to train earlier in the day, it wasn't a problem. So the air conditioning was fully covered. But we did realize that during the winter, because it's Michigan and I should have known better, this is a steel building. It is insulated, but there's only so much that can do. The forced air was at maximum and the gym was cold as like, it was like 64, 63 degrees. There's a big problem there for 2 reasons. One, a very cold gym means your probability of not warming up well enough and thus injury is higher. I don't fuck with that at all. The other thing with the cold gym is that you can't get super veiny and surpumptulous is the technical term for it. If you can't peek at your pump and see your leg veins, then why would you even have a gym is a good question. So instantly and with no haste or all make haste, whatever that the thing is, we made lots of haste and we installed, I believe, 3 more units of just heat. And that made a humongous difference even in March. And so this next winter that's gonna come around for the gym is gonna be way, way better. I do like it nice and warm. That has been a big addition. So with the sauna and the heat stuff and a bunch of the new machines, this gym is really, really starting to be pretty goddamn good. Let me tell you in this next little segment, how we aim to make the gym even better in the future. So where do we take this gym in the future? It's a little bit tough to say because there's all sorts of opportunities, all sorts of potential things to do. The one thing that I'm big on is when you have machines that are very good, you don't get rid of them. You keep milking them out. Like, I'm not trying to buy a new machine every other day to replace the shit. No thanks. But we do have some open space And I'm thinking that a few machines could enhance the situation. Might get another rowing machine for the back, might get some kind of curl machine because we basically have none of that situation, might get a few more specialty bars. But other than that, for now, it's looking pretty damn good. And we might get some kind of universal machine. There's some really cool stuff I've seen on the internet where it's a machine that can do a bunch of different stuff. We might get one of those just to test it out, to try it out and see if it can last in this gym. And so really the gym is basically almost all the way to where I really, really like it. Now it's just a matter of not so much deleting equipment out, because I think we've gotten rid of all the machines that we didn't like. It's a matter of another 2 or 3 very tastefully chosen machines. And the way you know you need a gym machine, this is a really big deal, is constantly in your design of your workouts. You're like, oh man, I wish I had this machine. And it keeps popping up. You don't ever want to get a machine that you're like, oh, this would be nice to use for a mesocycle, and then you never use it again, or it's like, meh. I had a pullover machine from Prime, which I think is a great piece, but it was a little bit too much of a wide king for it, so it's kind of weird to fit in there. And also, it wasn't the biggest stretch in the back of the machine that could possibly be, and I just almost never used it, and so I had to get rid of it. I donated it away because it was basically, I didn't buy it on a whim, but close. I was like, oh, I need one of those. I didn't really need one of those. Turns out with cable situations, with free situations, I had all the single arm extension stuff and single arm pulling for the lats that I really needed. So the big take home here is, when you're building your own gym, be it a home gym, a garage gym, even your actual gym that for clients and customers to come through, really think through that first grouping of machines. Core, high quality machines with tons of uses, Smith machines, free motion machines, power racks, things that tons of people use to get a lot of use out of, and they're fundamental good quality. The next layer of machines is extra stuff, chest press machines and row machines and all that stuff. Basics that you need at a gym that don't do a lot of stuff, but what they do really well. And you have one, ideally you'd have wanted to have tested all these machines with your own body at trade shows, expos. You can even take a flight out to headquarters or to showrooms for most equipment manufacturers, or just go to gyms across the country or across your state or city region and try a bunch of different machines and have a very intricate list of which ones you like, which ones you don't, why, etc. Once you have that core list, what my best recommendation after is, keep a couple of places free, and if you see machines that are really checking the boxes for you, you fill them in. Don't try to rush to fill a gym completely with every single place stocked with machines. So what you're gonna do is fuck up like I did and have 90%, 80% machines that are awesome, and then 10 or 20% of machines that you're like, why exactly did I pay money for this? And that, why exactly did I pay money for this, to a man of Jewish ethnicity is one of the most painful things you can live with at all times. And those costs I paid for the machines, even though they've been replaced and given away, I'll never live that down. And if you guys need help living down terrible choices, well, this is the wrong channel for that, because here we really embrace our terrible choices and cry about them. Folks, that is the gym update. So $250,000 gym, now a couple extra thousands poured in, and it's better. And so my big take for this, for you guys, is the following. If you're putting together a gym, make sure the basics are there and they're awesome machines that you've used before. And then slowly over time, keep a budget for acquiring some new things. And I'll say extra bars and attachments go a really long way for a really low price. Get some of that, get some extra benches, and all of a sudden your gym is starting to look really awesome. Is my gym the best gym in the world? Yes, but that's only because I train here and I'm amazing. Is it the best gym on a technical level? No. But it's like an old girlfriend. You don't love her anymore, and maybe you never did, but she's there and someone to watch TV with, I guess. See you guys next time.